Good evening. My name is Chef Larry Benetti, and tonight we're going to do a classic French onion soup. I've done this recipe a few times, and every time I've done it, I've kind of changed it around just a little bit differently. And I find that using different types of onions really changes the characteristics of the soup and gives it more of a unique flavor. Something that would be more on the senses of sweet and at the same time savory. To me, the classic French onion soup is made with really just a red onion. I know a lot of people, the recipes I've read, have actually talked about the yellow onion being the one to use, but I find by the marriage of the two together, you actually get a better flavor. First, what we're going to do, we're going to start off by we're going to slice it off. A lot of people will do, and this is the wrong thing to do, is they cut off this root end. This root end is what attaches this whole bulb together. So the best way to do this is the first thing, obviously, have a sharp knife. Slice it right down the middle. And you can see how it just opens up like that. And at this point, now you can take off this part. And then at that part, this peels right back very easily, as you can all see. My thought here is that for purposes of people who are sensitive to onions, and being I've been around cooking a long time, that's not been a real big problem for me. But to some who always ask that question, what do I do about tears, is I recommend that you take your onions and stick them in the refrigerator for probably like an hour before you actually use them. And that will keep the juices a little bit more solid to the onion. Then at this point, what we want to do is now we have our onion, it's sliced, and what we're going to do is, a lot of people do this, will just slice this down and have half moons. Well, I find that doing that, you'll have this really stringy soup. So what I'll try to do is I'll cut with the onion all the way down and get these nice thin little things. And then at the very end, I cut the root end off. And then you have a perfectly sliced onion. I'll do this again. This finger here is the one that's really controlling about where you really want to get these. And you really want to try to get these relatively thin. You know, less than 1/4 of an inch would be nice. If you've got good knife skills. I'm going kind of slow to get you an idea. And then at the same time, then you cut the core off. And the same thing happens again. At this time now you have your peeled onions. Now this is one way of doing an onion. And as my son over here says, 3.5 pounds of onion will be perfect for this recipe. I have my whites and my yellows. I got these already peeled. I'm going to do this on my own time, so you don't need to watch this. Another way that this can be done is if you happen to have one of these mandolins. I happen to like this one. It's really easy. It's got a bunch of parts. As you can see, you can actually adjust it to any thickness that you would like. I mean, within, relative to what you need an onion for. And as you can see, I've already started one here. I've already got some slices here. And I'll show you how this one works. And this just basically comes into here, and you just slice it down. Okay, and then what you do after you get that all sliced is I just gather this up, put them on top of each other, and at that time just run the knife down the middle, and you've got your slices the same way. That's if you want to go ahead and buy a device like that. But otherwise, actually the knife works the best. I don't use the mandolin that often myself. So at this point then I'll finish cutting all these onions, and then we'll go to the next step, which is actually putting in the pan.